County, the U.S. Army returned the remains of 4 more Native American children to their families. The children died more than a century ago after being sent to the Carlisle Indian Industrial School. But members of one family left without their ancestor. Sonica Bargo is here to explain why. Sonica.
Valerie, the Army intended to send home 5 children, but the remains from one grave didn't match the young man from the Puyallup tribe whose headstone marked that spot. I spoke to his family about how they're handling the news.
It was just heartbreaking.
Tiana Bill and her family came to Carlisle in September to bring their ancestor home.
A lot of emotions.
Edward Spotts, who was sent to the Carlisle Indian Industrial School and died there in 1896.
He was my age when he went over there.
The U.S. Army disinterred 5 graves, including Eddie's.
It was sad getting to Carlisle and seeing all those graves that they're just left there.
But the remains weren't his. Analysis showed they belonged to a woman in her late teens or early 20s.
One of the hardest communications that anyone could make.
All of that trauma from the past 127 years had just been released, and on top of it, to find out that it wasn't even him. She was my height and my size. It's kind of like, let's take the knife and twist it kind of deal.
The Army reburied those unknown remains with the help of Spot's family.
The entire team was basically in awe of their strength, their compassion, and their grace.
We loved that little girl the same way we would have loved our own children, and cared for her and sent her back into the ground with as much dignity as we possibly could.
How did this happen?
We all cried on the phone together.
Office of Army Cemeteries Director Renee Yates says the cemetery moved in 1927 and old records aren't always thorough.
Candidly, moving a cemetery is not a good practice at any time.
Yates and her staff are working both to ID the unknown woman and find Eddie Spotts. Bill and her family have hope, but right now they're grieving.
There's supposed to be a time of healing. And I think at this point, there's not going to be a time of healing until Eddie's returned to us.
Bill and Taylor, who you heard from there, are doing their own research as well to find their ancestor. To see my full interview with them, visit our website, abc27.com. In the studio, Sonica Bargo. Dennis, back to you.
Sonica.